Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, each prayer accepted and each wish resigned. If you ever asked me to name my favorite romance film, I'd really struggle to give you an answer. The romance genre covers a lot of ground and can fall into a number of subgenres. But if you'd consider this one little film a part of that genre, then I'd easily place it in my undisputed number one spot. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a film unlike any other. And I know that's cliche, but even 20 years later, I really struggle to find a film I can compare it to. It's a surreal film that feels so real. For those who haven't seen it or maybe need a refresher, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind follows Joel Barish, played by Jim Carrey, who discovers that his ex-girlfriend Clementine, played by Kate Winslet, has undergone a procedure to erase all memories of their relationship. Heartbroken, he decides to do the same. But as his memories are being erased, he realizes he still loves her and begins to fight to hold on to their moments together. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a rare blend of science fiction and romance where the fantastical concept of memory erasure is grounded in raw human emotion. Its unique narrative structure, which moves fluidly through Joel's mind as his memories are being erased, creates an experience that feels as fragmented and surreal as memory itself. This was a prime Jim Carrey taking on a role unlike his others outside of The Truman Show and showing the world that he could stand toe-to-toe against the very best actors of this generation. Then you had Kate Winslet, who was already a household name at this point, also taking on an unconventional role for herself at the time. Two generational talents going against the norm of their careers to tell a beautiful, heartbreaking, one-of-a-kind story. The film doesn't shy away from showing how love can be messy, imperfect, and full of contradictions, where moments of deep connection can quickly turn into frustration or heartbreak. We see how far a person is willing to go to avoid that heartbreak, willing to erase both the good and the bad, willing to forget it all. The film explores one of our biggest fears as humans, the loss of companionship and love. If you could erase all your memories, every single one, the good and the bad, to make it as if you and that person never even met, would you do it? And better yet, is a spotless mind with no memories of said person truly where the eternal sunshine lies? At the heart of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is the concept of memory erasure made possible by the fictional company Lacuna. Through a complex medical procedure, Lacuna offers clients the ability to erase specific memories, promising to rid them of their emotional baggage and allow them to move on from painful experiences. The film presents this process in a way that feels oddly believable, grounding the fantastical concept of memory erasure in an all-too-real desire to escape the pain of heartbreak. Yet, as the film unfolds, it becomes clear that erasing memories is not as simple or as freeing as it might seem. Memories aren't just isolated events stored in the brain, they're intricately tied to our emotions, personalities, and identities. When we fall in love, we form memories that are filled with meaning, layered with the emotions we experienced in those moments. We also tend to hold on to the good memories and look back on them as if everything around that moment was perfect. We think we didn't have a care in the world, even though we did. I'll never be happier, we tell ourselves, even though there's a strong chance we can be. And of course, we do the opposite with bad memories. That was the worst time of my life, and nothing was good, even though there were still bright spots, however small. That's just how our minds work as humans. Which is why when Joel and Clementine choose to go through with the procedure, I don't find it completely unbelievable. I mean, have you ever been sad about anything? And I mean truly defeated to the point of depression. Whether it's a breakup or the loss of a loved one, how many times have we thought that we might have been better off never experiencing the good times at all in order to avoid the cruel end? To just forget. But to erase those memories is not just to forget a person or a relationship, but to erase a part of ourselves. Eternal Sunshine plays with this idea, showing us that even as Joel's memories are being erased, the emotions tied to those memories, his love for Clementine, are harder to let go of. As Joel's memories of Clementine are systematically erased, he begins to fight against the process, trying to hide his memories in other parts of his mind. In a sense, the film asks whether it's truly possible to erase someone from your life when your heart refuses to let go. As Joel's memories of Clementine are systematically deleted, we see him desperately clinging to the moments they shared. What makes this so poignant is that even though Joel initially wanted to forget her, the deeper he goes into his memories, the more he realizes how much those moments mean to him. This idea is beautifully illustrated in the scenes where Joel tries to hide his memories of Clementine in other parts of his mind. I always remember the one where Joel takes Clementine to hide in one of his childhood memories to prevent her from being erased, just because of how trippy it was. Or the bookstore scene where every book in the background begins to fade one by one because Joel's entire focus is on Clementine in the moment. These surreal moments where memories take on a dreamlike quality show the lengths to which the heart will go to hold on. Even as his mind is actively trying to forget, his subconscious fights back, leading him to realize that he still deeply cares for her. Love in this sense is shown to be more than just a collection of shared experiences. It's something that persists even when those experiences are taken away, which poses the question, if we could erase the painful parts of our lives, would we still be the same person? Would we still be capable of loving, learning, and growing from those experiences? The film makes it clear that Joel and Clementine's relationship was far from perfect, yet the bond they shared is undeniable. Despite their vastly different personalities, Joel being introverted and cautious and Clementine being impulsive and unpredictable, they're inexplicably drawn to each other. The film's non-linear narrative reflects the way that relationships themselves often feel cyclical. And as Joel and Clementine's memories are erased, we're taken through the highs and lows of their relationship, seeing both the moments of tenderness and the times of conflict. Since we're seeing their relationship play out backwards, we start off with the bitter end, but increasingly find the happier memories from early in their relationship. And as with any great movie featuring well-crafted characters, it's the small, emotionally driven moments between the two central figures that cut deep. During Joel's memory erasure, he confronts moments of regret with Clementine while also finding some form of closure in others. For instance, in the bookstore memory, Joel admits, "I thought you were gonna save my life," revealing how he once saw her as a savior for his loneliness. In the same scene, he proclaims, "It would be different if we could just give it another go-round," suggesting that perhaps things could change if they had another chance. Later, during the memory of their first meeting, Joel tells Clementine, "I wish I'd stayed," showing his deep regret for not holding on to that moment longer. This incredibly vulnerable dialogue reveals Joel's growing desperation and regret as he nears the loss of every memory he has of Clementine. One of the most beautiful and profound moments, not just in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but perhaps in any movie I've ever seen, happens near the end. As Joel's final memory of Clementine fades, she whispers 4 words to him: "Meet me in Montauk." Montauk is the place where Joel and Clementine first met, so it represents the beginning of their relationship, a place tied to new beginnings. As their memories are being erased and everything is falling apart, Clementine's whisper feels like a final plea. Despite everything, despite the erasure, there's still a chance they can find each other again. This scene is perfect. And when I say perfect, I truly mean without a flaw. I couldn't imagine a single way to make it any better. The writing, the delivery, the direction, the cinematography, the sound, and the score are absolutely perfect here. And the single "I Love You" that Jim Carrey delivers just before feels like the most genuine "I love you" ever captured for a film. The raw emotion of the collapsing beach house, where Joel believes and accepts that it's all coming to an end, is suddenly interrupted when Clementine hits him with 4 words that give him more hope than he's ever felt before, just moments before he wakes up from the procedure. Fuck man, this part always brings a grown-ass man to tears, I swear. This scene encapsulates the essence of the film, the idea that even when it all seems lost, love has a way of persisting. In a deeper sense, Meet Me in Montauk is Clementine's way of saying that their connection transcends the procedure. Even if they lose their memories, there's a hope that they'll still be drawn to each other. It reflects the idea that love is more than just a series of recollections. It's a force that pulls people together, regardless of their past, suggesting that some bonds are too strong to be forgotten, no matter what. The process of memory erasure in the film is designed to free people from the emotional burden of past relationships. But as we see through Joel's journey, the heart is far less willing to part ways with those experiences. Our memories, even the painful ones, are essential to who we are. There's also the question of fate and whether some relationships are destined to happen no matter the obstacles. Even after the procedure, Joel and Clementine find their way back to each other, almost as if their connection transcends memory. In the end, despite finding out about their connected past, despite knowing the difficulties they might face again, they choose to give their relationship another chance. This time though, Clementine warns Joel that he'll eventually find things he won't like about her, while she'll one day grow bored, because that's what usually happens with her. He responds with a simple okay, as if to say that he accepts whatever is to come, the good and the bad, because this time he'll have seen it as worth it. This time around, he's more prepared to embrace the idea of loving and losing rather than never having loved at all. And Clementine responds with her own okay, suggesting that she too is now ready to accept whatever the outcome of their relationship may be. This is one of those films that I can't believe someone could even conjure up. The mind of Charlie Kaufman is truly a fascinating trove of unique ideas, but this one right here might just be his best work. One of the greatest films of the 21st century, a masterpiece. To this day, I'll continue to say how the Oscars robbed this movie of countless nominations. Jim Carrey in particular deserved a nomination for Best Actor after such a brilliant performance. Anyway, the ending is left up for interpretation, allowing viewers to decide whether Joel and Clementine are destined to repeat the same mistakes, or if they've grown enough to make it work this time. Because of the journey we just went on with these characters, we're rooting for them to make it work this time. But because of the journey we went on with these characters, we also know that a repeat destruction of their relationship isn't out of the question. The ending is whatever you want it to be, and after seeing Joel and Clementine trying to rewrite their story during the entirety of the film, it's a nice reward to allow the audience to write the ending for them. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is beautiful, depressing, heartbreaking, and hopeful all at once. It's a film that reminds us that a memory isn't just a thought, it's a feeling. It carries the weight of emotions, both joyful and painful, that shape who we are. It's not something we can easily erase because it's intertwined with our experiences, our growth, and our identity. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind reminds us that even when we try to forget, the heart will always remember.